Okay, the update on the garden is this is about 10 days since the tomatoes were planted, and pepper plants, eggplants, and a couple of zucchini plants, about 3 zucchini, actually 4 zucchini plants. And like I say, it's been about 10 days, and you can see how nice the tomato plants are. They're starting to get up there. They're about a third of the way up the post. And like I say, the plan, like I mentioned in the other video, the plan is to have a tomato circle, that the plants will grow up, the tomato plants will grow up the post, and then we'll train them to go around through the wires on a horizontal level. The little plants on the inside are the cantaloupe plants, and basically there's 12 of them. I guess you can almost, if you look at it, you can almost see it's like in shape of a clock, and they're going to be trained to go in a circle. So they'll be like they won't grow that tall, but they will grow in a circle, and if they need to go anywhere, they'll go towards the inside of the circle. So basically the tomatoes will be on the outer edge, and the cantaloupe plants will be on the inner circle, and then they'll be trained inward. Okay, if you look back near the grapes, you'll see little plants at the base of the grapes, and those little plants back there are honeydew melons. And I thought, well, we'll just make them go in a straight line and just let them go at the base of the grapes, and see what happens. It doesn't really take up that much space, and sometimes you'd be amazed, like you put plants in like that. I think there's only like 8 of those plants, melon plants, but might get some good honeydew melons out of there. I think the grapes, as you can see, they're doing pretty good. Debbie made up those little tin foil strips, and hopefully they'll scare the birds away. And you know, that's something I saw in a vineyard nearby, where the growers of at the winery there had all these little silver strips, and we figured we'll just use some tin foil and make our own. So that's Debbie's work there. The zucchini plants, I added another half dozen of them today. You can see how the ones in the front are they're growing, they're getting bigger, and these other ones back here are just planted today. And try to do things in odd shapes. I don't like rows of things. I like to just plant things, leave enough space so they can grow, and see what happens. Along the edge of the fence here, these plants down here are watermelon plants, and the theory is just let them grow around the base, like in a circle, well, it's a semicircle. I'll just swing over here for a minute and show you. They just go around here like this, and they just follow the fence around. And so, you know, as they grow, we'll just sort of train them to keep them near the fence, and you know, it's a space saver. It's a place it's actually a dozen watermelon plants, and they should grow real nice there. These little plants here, they went in about 10 days ago with the same time the watermelons and the peppers and eggplants went in, and they're cucumber plants. And the one in the center I just planted today, but the other 4, they were planted about 10 days ago. And one in the center I grew from seed, and I did the same. Like I used a tomato cage here, and then over here I did the same thing, used a tomato cage. And those little plants down at the base there are the cucumbers that I planted from seed, and they just went in the ground today. Alright, so that's basically the tour. They have the pepper plants. One little plant didn't make it, so I just sort of spaced them out, and you know, try to make it look even. But that's basically the garden. The tomato circle there, the tomato wheel, like Debbie calls it, it's going to look pretty neat, because you can tell the way the tomatoes, those plants, I already have them tied in case we get any kind of rainstorm or wind, so that they won't bend over or anything. So they're already starting to be trained to go up the posts, and we'll see what happens with those. All right, these are the zucchini plants, and you get a better look at the melon plants at the foot of the grapes back there. I'll just swing over here. It's a space saver. You just sort of let them grow there and train them to just go like back and forth. You'll see in a couple of weeks they'll start to make like vines, and they just train them to go towards each other, and they'll all be at the base of the grapes, and hopefully we'll get some. They're the honeydew melons, and then, like I say, in the circle inside the tomatoes, in the tomato wheel there, they're cantaloupe plants, and then up here along the fence we have the watermelon plants. And see what happens. You never know, that you might have a bunch of watermelons growing around the edge of the garden here. The other thing I planted today was the sunflower plants. I planted some seeds of sunflower in my little trays. Like this, I let them grow maybe 4, 5, or 6 inches first, get them started, and then we'll put them in the around the garden, and hopefully the birds won't eat them, or chipmunks or squirrels. But if they eat them, it's okay. I got more seed. We can plant some more of them. All right, so that's basically the tour of the garden today. And like I said, the garden's been in about 10 days, and except for the plants, a few plants that I planted today, everything else, the tomatoes, zucchini, and all, they went in about 10 days ago, and you can see the progress already. So we'll check back in about a week or two. All right, so that's it for now.